Something hissed in the darkness, and he followed the light with his other prize, swinging the corpse around the corner and into the room at shoulder height. The ruse worked. Thinking Salim had charged in after the blazing blanket... Oh, hello. Sorry, I was just here reading from my book to my good friend Diana. You caught me in bed. This is not my bed. This is not my house. I'm not even on this side of the world normally. But I'm here specially to do an interview with my good friend Diana the dinosaur. My name is James Sutter. I'm the creative director of Starfinder and the co-creator of the Pathfinder RPG, and I'm here with Dinosaurs and Dames to give you unfettered and unprecedented access to all my innermost thoughts.
Hi, I'm Carla. I'm one of the handlers of Dinos and Dames, and this is the epic James L Sutter.
Howdy, howdy.
Okay, so the first question we always ask everyone, and which is the most important question in this interview, because if you don't answer it correctly, we do not continue. Do you like dinosaurs?
Of course.
Okay. Is that okay, Diana? Yes, it's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, not Rawr.
Rawr.
Rawr. Okay, so James writes Pathfinder. Well, co-created Pathfinder, and he also has created Starfinder, which is coming. So I was lucky enough to play a game of Starfinder, and he does amazing space goblins. Any chance I can get you to say in Space Goblin, dinosaurs are amazing and they should live in space.
Dinosaurs are amazing and they should live in space!
Yes, they are, and they should.
Space dinosaurs? That's gonna be amazing! You want to be a space dinosaur, don't you, Earl? You should put on a helmet. Yes, you can be, audition for the space dinosaur roles. You looked awesome. Okay, this is getting weird. I'll just take this and go.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, future
Sure,
expansions.
yeah. Oh, we already have space dinosaurs.
What?
Yes, no, absolutely.
As a playable race, or as in just like...
Not as a playable race yet. We do have one race that is pretty darn close to dinosaurs, but they are not precisely dinosaurs. So, but you can definitely get your giant angry lizard fix right from the get-go.
Nice, like it. So now my next question is, so James also makes really cool music, and he's part of they call themselves a hair rock band.
Yeah.
Which I'm super into. It's called Brides of a Lizard God.
Yeah.
So all the boy dinosaurs at our camp basically want to know, who are these brides and where can they meet them?
There are 4 of us. I am one of the brides of the Lizard God, so it's a bit of a misleading name, but don't be close-minded.
Where's my bride?
I don't think he means what you think he means.
Yeah, it's me, Patrick Tucson, Eric Baker, and Andy Creek, and we play ridiculous hair metal and arena rock and whatever we feel like playing. It's often songs about dragons and spaceships and things, and it's all available for free on the internet. So, Brides of the Lizard God.
There will be a link in the description below.
Well, he could be my bride.
I don't mind a beard.
How did you get to Pathfinder in a super quick format? How did we get there?
So I started, I was a journalist. I hated reporting, but I loved writing, so I went someplace where I could make stuff up. And so I went to Dragon and Dungeon magazines. Then from there, we created our own world and the Pathfinder role-playing game, and it split off from Dungeons & Dragons and became its own thing, and became one of the biggest role-playing games in the world. And that leads us to now.
Okay. And for those people who don't know, James also writes really cool books. And have they all been based on Pathfinder in the system, or?
So both of my novels, Death's Heretic and The Redemption Engine. Available on Amazon now.
Link in the description below.
Both of them are set in the Pathfinder world, and they follow a specific character who's an atheist in a world where gods are objectively real, and through some bad decisions, he ends up working as a sort of supernatural detective for the Death Goddess, tracking down souls that have gone missing in the afterlife. So it's kind of Blade Runner meets Dante's Inferno, you know, if you're a fan of like Constantine, stuff like that. It's kind of that vibe. So that's what I've done novel-wise, but I've also written Pathfinder comics, but I've also done a bunch of short fiction, and now I'm doing some new novel stuff that's creator-owned as well.
Okay, cool. When those come out, I will put description links.
Yes, please.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so for those of you who don't know, this channel is South African, so we are in South Africa, and James has been touring a little bit.
Yeah.
Favorite things? 4 of them.
4 favorite things about Icon. I got to see a hyena with its cubs from like 5 feet away. That was pretty wicked. I did Icon, the fan sort of nerd geek convention here, and everybody was super nice. It was really a fun, exciting time. I showed up and got to take a road trip with a bunch of people that I'd never met before, but were all very cool. And it was very strange to like drive through Africa, which is very mythical in where I come from in the States. In a car full of people talking about LARPing. It was very surreal. And the 4th favorite thing has actually been hanging out with my good buddy Sean Isaacs, the comics artist, the famous comics artist, who now I finally get to meet in person.
Yay! This is a distraction! And suddenly Sin is here. We tagged out, in case you were confused. So, apparently our pizza is not the same as American pizza.
Your pizza is bizarre from an American standpoint, and I am not a fan of like American like cultural imperialism, but my God, you people are suffering, and something needs to be done. So your pizza is like what we would consider like a quesadilla almost. Like it's thin and flat, and there's like no handles around the edge. So American pizza has what some of my friends down here were very surprised to hear me call bread handles, because like you have to have, just like in the emoji, you got to have the raised crust all around the edges, and the crust needs to be like substantial. And my God, tomato sauce, which incidentally, ketchup and tomato sauce are 2 entirely different things in the States. Everyone was very confused when I kept saying like, your pizza doesn't have tomato sauce. They were like, but that would be disgusting, and it would be if you meant ketchup, but I mean tomato sauce. I'm sorry. This is a passionate subject for me. Anyway, the important thing is, all of you watching this need to at some point experience New York or Chicago or West Coast style pizza, and you will understand that it is a totally different food group. But that said, your pizza's still pretty good.
Okay, that's good to know. So, add to the bucket list. Save up to go to America and have pizza.
It's really the primary reason to go at this point.
So we were fortunate enough to have James cook dinner for us tonight, and it was amazing. It was really amazing. He made this amazing dish with potatoes. Would you care to share your secrets?
So my secret for cooking potatoes, and this is the only cooking secret I have, is for making good home fries, like American style. You dice up the potatoes and then you soak them in water to get the starch out, and then you nuke them in the microwave for like 7 minutes so they get soft, and then you pan fry them with rosemary and lemon and garlic and onion and paprika and cayenne and pepper, all the things that are good on potatoes. Just throw it all in there, fry them up, and it takes like an hour, but it is so worth it. And I was glad that I was able to share a proper American breakfast of eggs and potatoes with my South African colleagues.
Why wasn't I invited? I like potatoes!
Well, if it makes you feel better, we weren't invited either.
Orc says yes. Sad.
They're alive! They're talking!
Oh, I've always wanted an animal companions.
Ooh, get away from me!
So easy. So James,
You're back.
hey, magical
Magic.
Diana, stop
Magic.
falling all over the poor man. So I wanted to know how. I see your betrayal, Diana. I see you.
It was inevitable.
Of course it was. I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
You said you almost have space dinosaurs, so
It's true.
she's ready. So, what made you want to make Starfinder?
Honestly, I've been trying to put science fiction stuff and science fantasy in Pathfinder since day one. As I often note, when I was originally writing the Gazetteer of Varissia, one of the first countries we detailed in Pathfinder, all the way back in issue number 3 of Pathfinder, I was putting in like space elevators and like magnetic launchers to get people into orbit, and coworkers like James Jacobs and Wes Schneider, two of the other Pathfinder co-creators, sat me down and were like, look, we need you to ramp it back. But then it turns out that over the years, like I did a book called Distant Worlds that was all about sort of space in a Pathfinder, fantasy setting. And people really liked it. James Jacobs ran the Iron Gods Adventure Path, which had a lot of lasers and androids and things. And people were really into it, so we knew that there was interest there. And frankly, we just really wanted to play with something different. So Pathfinder is obviously still going strong, but Starfinder is Pathfinder thousands of years in the future and gave us the chance to invent a bunch of new aliens and have spaceships and laser guns with our spellcasters and, sword swingers.
Okay, so now can I ask also, like, it might seem weird, but why did you make it still part of the world and still have Galarian, even though Galarian's gone missing, but why not just make a totally new thing and,
Well, we thought about it, and part of it was strategic in that, we know that Pathfinder is successful, but we also know that we got really lucky with Pathfinder, and there's no guarantee that lightning will strike twice in this industry. So if we had done something totally unrelated, maybe it would have succeeded, maybe it wouldn't have. But the other element is that really it's fun for me to see, like, how things change, how things could grow, like what organizations are still there, what ones are gone, like how are the Hell Knights different thousands of years in the future, what are elves like, what are dwarves like, which of the gods are prominent, which ones are missing, like all of that stuff. It's fun. It's almost like the fun of fan fiction or something where you get to play with an established world but reinvent things and change them. And so we got to do that with our own game this time.
That's pretty awesome. And so do you need to have played Pathfinder before to enjoy Starfinder?
Not at all. Starfinder is totally a standalone game. If you have played Pathfinder, the rules are very similar, to the point where you can even take a monster from one game and use it in the other. But it is its own game with its own rules set, and the Starfinder core rulebook is all you need to play. But if you have experience with Pathfinder, you'll certainly enjoy lots of Easter eggs.
Hello. I will say this only once. We are the Dino Revolutionosaurus. We are here to take over and spread our cause, and to do so we have stolen the footage of James L Sutter. What, in all argument's sake, I ask you, does the L stand for? I tell you it stands for something with an L. But we will not give this footage until our cause has been heard and he has taken us to the Kaiser offices and said that Starfinder cannot exist. Space has killed dinosaurs and we refuse to let this continue.
Captain, we have a problem.
Yes.
As the footage, it was deleted. Francie, he was downloading some suspicious material, and he needed space.
There has been, I will say, a change of plans. The footage, we have decided to delete it because you do, because we are the revolution and we do what we want. So, yes, I have said follow our cause, don't put dinosaurs in space. And So us?
Thanks for joining me for this exclusive interview with Dinosaurs and Dames. Now, if you'll excuse me, me and Diana have some unfinished business. He was slumped face down on the desk. There was blood everywhere. I screamed and the servants came running. They summoned the guard and I sent a runner to notify the church. Yes, are you liking this? Are you still awake? Okay, good. We knew there was danger, but we hadn't. We hadn't really thought. She took another deep, shuddering breath.